morning, everybody. It's also not morning here. It's like 3 o'clock. I am still very sick. I've been sick through the new year and just haven't been able to knock this, but car's not going to work on itself, so that's why we're out here. It's about 22 degrees today. It's not too bad. I do have a portable heater in here, so don't worry. And I am layered up. I've got a hoodie and a Carhartt, and then I've got 2 pairs of pants on and some Uggs. So I am not very cold out here, and I will probably take my Carhartt off anyways. But let's talk about what we're going to be doing today in this video. So I've done a ton of content on my RX-7. Well, my headlight motor went out, so that one's not coming up. It looks a little derpy, but I've been doing so much on this car. Just really been putting my entire focus in on this car for like the last year and a half. But this is not my only car. I've had a couple 350Zs in my life, only 2, but couple meaning 2. So yeah, I've had a couple 350Zs, 2 of them. This is my second one. It used to look very different in its glory. It was very pretty. It wrapped. I had the body kit on and everything, and now it's pretty much just been sitting in this state for the last year and a half or so. I live in a different apartment over there, so I basically just moved it to this garage, and then it's just been sitting exactly how it is since then. There's nothing wrong with the car, wrong with the motor. Everything runs. It's just the battery was dead. That's all it needs is a battery. But I decided that I wanted to do a totally different body kit that kind of involved a lot of money and modifications to the car. And the more I was into it, I was realizing how expensive and how much labor was going to go into it. So I wanted to do a Pandem Rocket Bunny. When I was getting into cars at first, I really wanted an FRS, but I couldn't afford it. So I settled on the 350Z, and I really wanted a Pandem Rocket Bunny 350Z. Like, that was the ultimate goal for me when having a 350Z, was I needed the Pandem kit because I loved the way that the vented fenders looked. I loved how low it was, but I really didn't want to settle for a fake kit because I know how badly they fit. A real Pandem kit was always very unobtainable to me because it was just so expensive. Just never really thought I could ever get to that point. Last Christmas, my gift was Pandem fenders. So I got the front and rear fenders right here, front and rear. One of the fronts here and the other front is over here. That was my gift to myself, is I was like, I'm going to get this and start this process, but there's obviously a bumper that goes with it, and I didn't have the bumper, and that was going to be $1,600, and then I needed to rebuild my wheels, and then I needed to modify the body and probably go on an air ride, and all of those things started to feel so unobtainable as well. And the SC was just taking a lot of my attention and time. And for some reason, everything felt a little bit more obtainable for this car, like getting the kit, getting the wheels, getting the coilovers, getting pretty much everything ready to get this car running. I think I just honestly lost the passion and motivation for this car, especially after I unwrapped it, because it's just sitting here looking like trash. Like, why would I even want to work on it at all? But I have such a love and appreciation for these cars. Like, it started everything for me to get into cars. And obviously my first Z got totaled, and this was kind of like my comeback car. Anytime I even just like smell the inside of this car, like, I just get those memories back. It just has a very specific smell. So anyways, enough of me rambling, yapping about that. So there's a couple things that I need to do on the car. There's things I need to do on the FC2, which I'll show you guys here in a second. But for the Z specifically, I really need to change the oil because it's been about a year and a half that it's been sitting. So it hasn't run in probably 8 months maybe. I've had to just like jump it repeatedly to get it started. I bought a fresh battery at AutoZone and then do the oil change. And my exhaust is also half hanging off. I got a Greddy single exit exhaust, and I don't know why I just never put it on. It's just kind of hanging back there, so I really needed to get that on. The FC also needs an oil change, the break-in oil change. And then I noticed that on my alternator, there's some black dust on here, which you can see where I felt it, but I think it's my belt. I think it's just not tightened enough because it is like super loose. So probably just need to tighten that and make sure that there's no ripping in the belt. So I need to do an oil change on the FC2. And then the current project that I was working on is my headliner, because I wanted to do a black headliner a long time ago, and I kept painting it and it just was not holding the color. So I ended up doing kind of like a cool custom fabric on here. Let me move the seat back so you can see. Fabric and Joanne Fabrics, and it's kind of like the Disney villains. So it says like cute stuff like it's not me, it's you, and who needs boyfriends when you have puppies. And I don't know, I thought that was really cute. Instead of just doing like a black headliner, which I've done in so many cars before. I'm sure some of you guys saw on Instagram, I did get my Vertex steering wheel. I got this for $280. I got this on Facebook. He did also have a matching Vertex shift knob, which I thought was super cool, but it wasn't the right thread pattern or the thread pitch in this car, because that's actually the shift knob for my Z. So my Z doesn't have a shift knob right now. So anyways, me yapping a little bit about what we're gonna be doing today. So goal on the Z is gonna be jack up the rear and get the exhaust on. Let's do the oil change and let's put the battery in and get it started. Please don't sit here and think that I only put my car on one jack stand. This car always only wants to sit on one jack stand. Always. I don't know why. It's either the front or the back, and it never wants to just sit on both. So it's always just like teetering on one. So I put the jack here too. I don't know. I've always had that issue with this car. I don't know if my pinch rods are just like uneven or what, but it just never wants to sit on both of them. I think that should give me enough room to slide under there and change the oil. Where's my oil pan? I got it right here. So that should probably give me enough space to do that. So let's do that. This is not gonna be a very clean pull. Oil actually looks so clean. No way. Look at that. It's so clean. Look at that. I don't even remember when I did an oil change last. I definitely have it in my notes, but I didn't see on camera as I did use an oil filter tool because I have been stuck stabbing screwdrivers through oil filters so many times in my life. And look, you can see I was using an STP one. Like, I just didn't really care about this car. Oil and filter in here. Oh, well. Oh my goodness. Jesus. Okay, well, that's just done. So the one thing I've been struggling with making content on YouTube is that I do have to somehow make content for Instagram too. And that's kind of the hardest part, is like when I'm filming YouTube, for example, I'm focused on having the phone vertical and, you know, thinking about what I'm gonna say. And then I'm trying to have to like divert my mind to like, okay, Reels and TikTok are vertical this way, and how do I like film the same exact content on different devices? So I do have my old phone here, which has been helping me record. It's almost like I want to take the exact same content that I put on YouTube into a condensed version on TikTok and Instagram, whatever. But it's like, how do I film all of that stuff at the same time? It's absolutely full of oil. Like, it had full oil. I looked in my notes and it looks like I did an oil change last on the 8/12/2023. So my theory is when I parked it in the other garage, I figured I was gonna let it sit. So I was like, oh, I'll do an oil change because I've driven it a decent amount. I think I bought it at 135,000 miles. I did the oil change at 138,000 miles. Still had full oil in there. So let's go ahead and put this in there. I laugh sometimes when people are like, how do you know so much about cars? Like, how do you know all these things? Like, how did you learn stuff? Google said 5 quarts of oil, so that's how we know. As stupid as that sounds, like, I don't know everything about cars. Obviously an oil change is pretty simple. I've done a million oil changes. I also have 3 cars, so I forget a lot about which oil filter goes for each car, so I literally have it written down in my notes. So oil change is done. That was pretty quick because the oil was basically brand new. The next thing that I need to do is connect my exhaust. I'll try to show you guys under the car here. Oh my god, jump scare, guys. This is crazy. Yeah, this is definitely a Midwest car. I think it's definitely pretty rusty. I know it needs a gasket low. Oh, and the hanger, it's not completely in the hanger, so I want to make sure it gets up in there because the last time I drove this, it ripped the exhaust off. So somehow it's not connected somewhere. Just look at how if I move this. Yeah, this is definitely not connected somewhere up there, so that's what we gotta do. So this is definitely not tight at all. Yeah, so definitely need to tighten this. I was able to film most of it, but I finally got to use my brand new electric ratchet from Milwaukee. I got this from my mom's boyfriend for Christmas, and I love this thing. Oh my god, I can't believe I used to just use a ratchet before. This is so clutch. So I just tightened it on one side. I can't really reach the other side, so I'm just gonna jack it up on the other side and tighten it on that side. And then hopefully we should just be able to slide the hanger onto the rubber thing, so that should be good. I greased up the hanger up here to hope that it would get in there, and it definitely did. I just put a little too much grease. Now the exhaust is in place. So the oil is changed, the exhaust is put back on, so the very last thing I need to do is put the new battery in it. I didn't go with anything special in this car. I literally just took exactly the same battery it had and just bought another one because at AutoZone, I don't really mind the Duralast batteries. They're okay. I have an Optima battery in the FC. Still not sure how I feel about it. I got the red top instead of the yellow top. So if you guys have any suggestions for batteries, for the FC I need a high cranking one, and for the Z I guess it doesn't really matter because it's pretty much all stock. I just got this new battery pack. This guy, I'm so excited to use this. We use this at my work. I work at a dealership and we have 2 or 3 of these and they're so good. I'm so excited to try this. Guys, when did this even happen? I just looked at my screen and I saw blood like on my screen and then I see this. That actually really hurts. I don't know what I did. I must have got up under my nails. Sorry if you guys don't like blood. Besides our little boo-boo, the battery is in, so... Alright, well, it has power for sure. Let's start it up. Oh, I'm so excited. I haven't heard this car start up in so long. I have a feeling it's gonna crank over pretty slow to start in a long time. And I don't have a seat right now, so make sure we're in neutral. Interior tour. Did the checkered headliner on this car with the starlights. I had the checkered floor mats, all the carbon fiber in here, even up there. Had it on the doors. Yeah, I did the roll bar, sparkle roll bar. I really loved this car for a long time, but it's kind of sad that I've let it sit. I had no doubt that this car would not start because it's perfect and it could do no wrong. It never leaves me stranded or does anything wrong. Everything that's left on the Z to do, I did this molded trunk. Usually it's like a bolt-on duckbill that comes with like the Rocket Bunny kit, but I wanted to do a molded one. But taking off the wrap, it did crack in a couple of places. So here, down here in the corner, in several places, it just kind of like ripped up the Bondo. That's the biggest thing, is I really want to spend some time and do the Bondo work because it's very time consuming, but I would rather do that in a warm environment. I need to sell the Rocket Bunny kit, so if you know anybody that's interested in some Rocket Bunny front and rear fenders, I have them listed on Facebook. Oh, I need to weld them some new quarter panels. I'm sure you guys already saw how jacked up these quarter panels are. I did not do this cutting. This was the previous owner that did it before me, and he also put these holes in here for the body kit, so I do have another quarter panel, bit of a gap here, and you're gonna see it with the new kit. So although this is welded and it looks really nice, it's just not gonna work. Little things that we need to do before the kit comes, which hopefully will be in like a month or so. This is Tay editing in bed. I don't know why I keep referring to this body kit, but I must have just not hit record when I was actually talking about the body kit. So let me fill you guys in. You saw my SEMA vlog, you saw that I saw a blue 350Z with a very unique body kit that I'd never seen before. And I found out that that was the Pandem version 2 kit for the 350Z that I didn't even know that they had released. So while I was in Vegas, I talked to the owner of Pandem about potentially getting one because it was only one of one at the time. I didn't want to say too much because I didn't want to like jinx it, but it's about a month out from Japan, which is insane. And I'm so excited because I will be the second car with this body kit, reignite my interest for this car. And I'm going to go with a very crazy color. So that's why I'm excited to get this car up and going, and I need to get it ready for when the kit comes and yada, yada, yada. So just wanted to add that in there. So I have some time, but I say that and then I procrastinate and then I just don't have time. Very excited to show you guys the process of this because it's kind of like restoring my dream car. I put so much time and money into this car and I love the way that it sits, even there's so much more I want to do to it. I really want to show some love to the Z. If you guys have enjoyed seeing some content about a car that you guys have not seen in a very long time, let me know and I'm excited to do more content on the Z. All right, see you guys.